Hi everybody, welcome to day 2. I'm going to really try and keep these videos as short as I can, but I do just want to say how much I appreciate everyone engaging on day 1. It's not easy to examine those areas where things haven't gone well, but it's such a crucial part of our learning and our growth and our healing journey. So thank you everyone. It was wonderful to hear you. So today, yes, I want to tell you a little bit about our parts. So one thing that I find really helpful, it's been really helpful in my own journey around finding more calm, is to start to notice that I have different parts of myself. So rather than saying, oh, I got really angry with my kids, I can stand just slightly outside of that and say, a part of me was so angry with them, you know? And it just gives us that little bit of distance. And when we start to realize that parts of us do different things and have different reactions, we can often be really hard on those parts of us that don't respond in the ways that we would ideally choose. So one part of my journey that I found absolutely vital has been learning to develop some self-compassion. And one way to do that is to acknowledge those parts, that angry part, and actually to turn towards it rather than saying, what were you thinking, you idiot, you know, whatever the words are that come up, is actually to say, yeah, I was angry, you know? That was really hard for me then. Of course I was angry. It was a tough time, and start to bring some gentleness to our responses to ourselves. And if we look at those parts that got angry or reacted in a certain way, we often think that it was, like, on the surface, it seems like a very unhelpful reaction. But if we start to look back at where those reactions came from, we can start to see how in some way they were protecting us once upon a time, and how even now those parts think that they're acting in our best interests by doing things like getting angry. So what we're going to do is have a look back today at some of our childhood experiences around big feelings that came up for us and how they were responded to. So my questions today are, what was it like in your childhood when you had big feelings? What was that like for you? And also, how did the significant adults in your life react to you? And if you really dig deep, can you see how maybe those reactions kept you safe in some way back then when you were a child? So, for example, it might have been getting angry helped us to avoid other feelings like grief or shame, you know? Or if we had a part that was very critical towards ourselves, shaming towards ourselves, that would make it feel a little bit better if someone else shamed us because we've already done it first. We know already. So have a look at how those parts might have served you once. And then my tip today, she says, trying to go really fast so that I don't keep you for too long. If you think about a time when you have acted out towards your child or perhaps towards someone else, and you can find that part, let's call it an angry part, you might have another name for it, can you find some compassion towards that part? What does that part need to hear from you? And if that's really hard, and for most of us it is, because that's not how we were raised, it can be really helpful to think, well, when my child acts out, what's the message that I want to give them? You know, how do I want to show them that they're heard and they're loved even when things get hard? And see if you can bring just a hint of that, a flavour of that towards that part of you, that angry part of you, say. All right, see how you get on. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.